Start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this fourth Tuesday. Good to see you all. I put my lighthouse backdrop. I'm feeling very lighthouse today. You know, there was an amazing full moon last night. I hope you all felt the energy of the full moon. It's very powerful, lifting us up and letting go of the past and stepping into the future. That's what I want to think about. Now, this meeting is our members' meeting. We're delighted that Kay has joined us. As many of you met her last time, you gave a fabulous presentation to reimagine Rotary. And really, I think that's a great theme as we come into, May next month and June. And then it's going to be time for Patty to become our president. And I'm very looking forward to supporting you, Patty, and helping the gift of this year to be flowing on. I want to thank Shanker for all the work he's doing at the secretary, sending out the emails and things like that. And we'll get to grips with DAC.db. I'm hoping that in the course of the next hour, we will have Unique. He said that he still wants to join us. He's been ill the last week. So he is a young man from Nigeria who's here on a business school project. He said he's moving to Tennessee to be starting a business course. There's also possibly Ruby Joseph coming in, who is curiously also from Nigeria, but she's just moved to Texas. So she'll be a transfer from her Rotary Club. And I invited her to come today. I'm hoping she'll come in to meet us and be here. And also Ritu, who's going to share her India experiences, coming in at around 1:15. Okay. So to start with, I'd like to just set a theme for expansion. This full moon is very much about, for me, it's about expansion. It's about stepping into a doorway. Maybe that's why I put my lighthouse up. I'm doing some work using the lighthouse as a metaphor. So I just want to share that before we start the meeting, that the lighthouse shines a white light. And the thing about the lighthouse is a permanent feature. It doesn't rush out into the sea and save boats. It stands very strong and it shines a light to allow ships to pass through the wild sea with safety. And that white light is full of all of our lights. So men and women, my passion is the power of our authentic harmony coming together. So I'm actually running a couple of sessions, one this Saturday for men only and the following Saturday for women only, and the next Saturday after that for men and women together. And I have an extraordinary experience that if you want to join in, please come along. It's complimentary. My colleague Adolfo is going to take us on a very deep meditation to the lighthouse, especially designed for men the first time, especially designed for women the second time, especially designed for men and women the third time. So I'll send you some of those details, but I only just came up with the idea this weekend, so that's why it's fresh in my mind. And I think it's about us. Here's Aaron coming in. That's great. It's about us standing in our full presence and our full light in anything that we do. So whether it's turning up at this meeting, being part of this Rotary Club, coming in from another Rotary Club, being out there at a wonderful event as Patty was at this weekend and Aaron was helping with. And ERA's members did videos for myself, Marty. We came together for the event that I'm going to invite Patty to share with me and you in a moment. So we came in different guises. Patty was there in presence. We were there on camera, on film, and other people were there live on Zoom. So it's multi-level communication in this club, and that's what I love. And that's what I believe attracts people to the Rotary Club of Global Impact, that we can do things differently. I hope you feel the same. So I thought, as well as handing over to Patty, who is our president-elect, and I'm so pleased that you're here. I know there's a lot of family stress at the moment. We're always delighted that you're here, and we're praying for your mom and your grandpa. Uh, but Patty, maybe you could just take us into the four-way test and then share with us what happened this weekend uh, on your side of the USA. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I love you so much. I love you all so much. It's such a pleasure to have gotten to know you guys. And I just want to say thank you. I'm feeling very grateful for the relationships being built and then together making a difference. And I do love the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair? Does it build goodwill and relationships? And does it benefit all concerned? I love that because we all have our specialties, right, Pauline? We're
Yes.
all gifted in our own rights, and our gifts together is just a beautiful tapestry. And it just makes the world a better place, and that's what Rotary is about. We're just cogs in the cog wheel, and we keep the wheel rolling, and I just love that. The event was really, really beautiful. I like that this was like the flagship event to this project. And this project, as a visionary, could see it just keep going and going and going. This would be beautiful to have it as a legacy for our club, because as a club, I think this is, the whole just DMT team, that it's like our club's legacy. I mean, right off the bat with Marty. I mean, come on, Mike. That was like, what a way to start with Ukraine, with the life-saving kits. And now we're giving games for mental wellness to the children. I love our club's legacy and making a difference, especially during disasters. If you read Marty's email, we were in this together, right? And when you read it and see, like, wow, we really have done a lot. It's just really exciting, but we are so focused on what we're doing now that sometimes we forget, because we just have our, sleeves up and we get our hands dirty, but that's what it's all about. Pauline, I love you, and back to you.
Okay, so if you could just explain a little bit about what what happened at the weekend and what was the energy in the room, and maybe not everybody knows about it, and we will put the replay out. So give us a synopsis about it was called Dare to Dare to Share. So give a little
Dare to
context about it.
spare. I'm going to pass it over to Aaron in just 1 second, Aaron. So get your mic ready. However, Dare to Spare was the project, and again, we've always been helping with disaster, right? And we did that with Ukraine. We didn't put a name to it. We just got right into it, and we did what we needed to do under, warfare. We just didn't even think about a project. And then when things started to kind of like settle in what we can do, and more wars are breaking out, and we continue doing what we're doing. Aaron wanted to really take the reign on youth now. How can we help the youth? And that became a conversation. And then with that conversation amongst all of us, one thing led to another, and we have a project called Dare to Spare, because Aaron, I think you could take it from here, connected with Mark Luther and Will Tinson, and they have family in Ukraine, and they work in the school system, and they're dealing with a lot of children, and there's more children with no parents than parents. And yeah, take it away, Aaron. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I have little to no signal where I am. Um, well, at the end of the day, like a year or so, Mark Luther and I, we started a nonprofit called Luvian, the Guardian Collective, which is all about helping children domestically and internationally. We have a couple partners and projects queued up that we're going to be rolling out here in the next 2 or 3 months. And this was kind of like a pilot project that we wanted to do to kind of introduce our organization. And I got as many people that we've worked with in Ukraine as possible to do little thank you videos for the kids. I dropped the video in chat so you can kind of see some of the other people we're working with and have worked with and will continue to work with that are Rotarians and have their own nonprofits that are also helping children. That's pretty much the message that we were conveying. And hopefully we can do it again at that school and some other schools here in the future.
Yeah, and it really was a great model for to show people, you know, what it's about, what we're doing, and you could just see from this that, you know, we could build off it with the clothes, because the clothing was a part of it too. It was originally supposed to be clothing, youth clothing for the orphanages and game boards, but you know, they came to realize, let's stick with one first to make it a little easier for the first round. And games are really important for the mental wellness, and they showed studies, and also Mark Luther shared with us some PDF files of the warfare on mental wellness. You know, this is all like warfare that, you know, we need to keep them surviving and thriving, you know, instead of imploding on what's going on around them. So, and also just to show there's people outside of Ukraine that love them and care about them too. So that's really, really good for the youth and the kids and just everybody's well-being. Because even when you're giving, you know, it feels so good to know that you can make a difference from so far away. So it was a beautiful event. They turned out 700 games. People did also submit games that were used. So when we went there, yeah, there's one of the girls. I believe that's Will's daughter. I believe that's Will's daughter. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. A lot of used games. So the volunteers, me being one of them, went there, and as we packed the games, and we also, you know, gave away some treats and snacks and drinks. There was a table that the kids colored and left messages for the kids in Ukraine. We, as volunteers, went through every single game and counted every single piece, every single dice, every single card, making sure that the kids were getting good games, all intact. We taped the boxes so nothing would be falling apart. We packed it. Then Will also had somebody volunteer their moving company to use their moving truck, and also they donated boxes. I forgot how many boxes, but 700 games collected. So I think a lot good was done. The local cafe down the block, Sound Motor Company, they also collected games, and they were putting it in one of like the antique cars. It was really cute. I lost the footage. I'm really sorry about that. I was too excited and I did not save the footage. I don't know what I did. But we do have a beautiful gallery of pictures. You know, a little bit. We were busy, but I did take some good pictures to share if time allows. And also we compiled, not we, Aaron really compiled, well, whoever send a message in, including Marty and Pauline and Paul Brandis. Thank you so much. Those messages were beautiful. We have that now in our archive. I would love to see that on the website somewhere. It is a 20-minute video of all the people collaborating on this beautiful mission. So yeah, that's a mouthful, I said. Back to you, Pauline.
Well, I want to give you a very big round of applause. Everybody, just really applaud, because I know that was also very much a big push for you, Patty, at the moment with your family being not well. But I'm sure the children would really enjoyed it. So how many children were there roughly?
It was, you know, it was an ebb and flow. It was an ebb and flow. So even though a lot of people came in, it was more, it wasn't an event where people stayed. They kind of came in, they might have grabbed a cookie, they wrote a note and they left. You know, the volunteers which were there, you know, and that was an ebb and flow too. Some people stayed for a couple of hours, some people came on a Sunday. I went on a Saturday. And so it was an ebb and flow kind of an event, but it was consistent and it was really lovely.
That's really good. And I'm sure the kids, just as a sort of I don't know whether anybody else would like to ask a question, but what happens to the games now? They're being packed off to the Ukraine.
Yes, so I think Aaron might be in transit. So they're going by cargo. We did have on the Luvian side a donor, so we ended up not having to deal with any funds on our end. We just were there on boots on the ground, hands on, helping spread the word and all that good stuff, facilitating. And then their philanthropist is now taking charge of putting it on cargo, and it's taking about 2 months. And everybody who donated at the school, because the school was the host. So all class parents got an email, which was really beautiful, letting them know, okay, this is the next step. It's going via this and that, and it's going to take approximately 2 months. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So it's amazing to me, like all the effort that goes in, behind the scenes, because even though like I'm all like, yay, yay, let's help Ukraine, Patty forgets like all the logistics, so boy, oh boy, you got to make friends. And again, back to the 4-way test, we just got to make friends and network, and together we all rise.
Absolutely. And I hope everybody will take that link and have a look at it. I did see your short reel. It's still up on Facebook, isn't it? I think. But then in the videos that we put together, I did a message, Marty did one, Paul, you put a message in there as well, and other people from the other clubs. What I loved was the piece at the end where we saw some kids and a mum in Ukraine. So that makes it real, what actually happens when the kid opens the games in their home and they enjoy playing with them. So I think it's a beautiful project. Thank you. And I know Aaron's had to jump off. So Patty's saying, yeah, FB wouldn't let us post it into LinkedIn, and we're not quite sure where our Facebook Rotary Club or Global Impact page is at the moment, but we'll hopefully check that out. I'm not good at technology, so I'm not going to be the one to sort it out when I'm short between.
Odd, Pauline, I'm not sure what we're gonna do about it, because the message seemed to be like that we're not a legitimate club. They can't verify that. So it's more of that thing, because I do have the admin rights. So I looked at the admin stuff, and I do have admin rights to be able to share posts, but it gave me a message saying like, oh, we can't verify that, something to that effect.
Okay, this was on LinkedIn, wouldn't verify it.
No. LinkedIn is good. LinkedIn is
Oh.
thumbs up. LinkedIn is good. It's Facebook. Facebook is not allowing me to share, even from my private page. I tried to get my way in like a bank robber. Like I could not get in. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, obviously. Well, we'll leave we'll
You
leave
can
that.
just Google Meet with me, and we'll fix that.
Yeah, that leave that to Marty or Ziak, or the people who know what to do with those things. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move on to Ritu. Welcome, Ritu. And Ritu was blessed to have a wonderful holiday. We just got Unique coming in. This is great. To a wonderful vacation and trip around India, and we were discussing how different clubs are different in terms of their culture. So it's interesting that Kay is here from, again, a local club here, and ours being global club. And your impression, Ritu, of the clubs in India, the more formal way of doing things. I just want to say welcome to Unique. Unique is going to be a member of our club. He's just joined us here on the screen. So welcome, Unique. So Ritu, hand over and explain to us what happened for you
Thank
in
you,
India.
Dr. Pauline. Thank you. And thank you for the wonderful conversation we had around it. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. As Dr. Pauline mentioned, I presented at the Rotary District 3011, which is the New Delhi district. Had their district conference while I was traveling. So this was long term in the making. Till the last moment, till 3 or 4 days before the event, I wasn't sure would I be one of the speakers. But this was an extremely pleasant surprise when I get the invitation, which I'm going to share. Dr. Pauline, do I have the sharing rights?
Yes.
Okay. So this conference took place for 3 days, Friday from 8th to March 8th through Saturday, Sunday till March 10th. 9th was my flight out from New Delhi back to New Jersey. Let me just kind of make it. Okay, so my flight was out 1 a.m. 9th evening, which is 10th. Okay, so in a hurried rush, this was my topic, which I had given some choices to them. Sure you can see my screen. So here, 21st century challenges and role women must play. So they really loved the topic. Their district conference theme was the word Yugantar, which I incorporated in my presentation. Yugantar means the age of transformation. So this was the invitation that was sent to me on night of 6th, or I saw it 7th morning to present it on 9th, which I thought, was pretty impressive. I really was pleasantly tickled and surprised. And on their event brochure, there's multiple pages. I was part of these very honorable speakers. And I was talking to Dr. Pauline, what I observed being there in a very elegant location, the consensus and the participants of this event, the 3 days dignitary speakers plus the club members. So I'm just going to give a little bit background what I know about the district 3011. There are 40 clubs, 7,000 members. Many of the clubs are elite members in the capital city of New Delhi, and within a massive record of fundraising and a lot of social work. I collected a lot of cards to look at the cards when I came back. These were really outstanding in the society, the elite members who were part of these clubs. So what I was observing during these presentations, and as well as my my own role, among these people who were in the afternoon of Saturday, I was the only one with an PowerPoint. Anyone there was like a celebrity status and off the cuff. Really connecting with the audience of all different professional level. I'm a very observant person for professional role that I have. And my takeaway as I was having conversation with Dr. Pauline were that we, as a part of the global club, we connect, we have members, we have speakers who come in around the world. One thing that is in common was their commitment to the cause, the discipline, the commitment, what they are doing as a club. Each club of the district, 40 different clubs, each club had a dollar value commitment, and what they have collected today was part of one of the presentation by the district governor. Each of the event taking place during 3 days, they were so culturally aligned to engage the audience and the speakers, but at the same time, the Rotary theme of the international club were exactly the same. as I kept listening to the speakers and as I kept, giving my presentation during this event and engaging with other speakers as well as the audience members, the connection, the human connection and the commitment, when it's in our heart, you really don't need much more than that. You have to commit. You have to be open to it. Either you are financially donating to the cause or you are doing some action-oriented work. So that was kind of pretty open and seen what they are committed to and do. Anywhere from causes for children to underprivileged communities to AI type of areas, the technology, the growth of technology, how it's shaping, how they want to utilize these kinds of opportunities to help communities, and how to reach out to donors. Something else that was really key for me, may not be here in US that we hear as often, but in India, there is a mandate for companies up to a certain financial budget or growth, that they have a 10% or certain percent a CSR commitment. Company can choose the cause, but that money has to set aside. So there were active groups within committees within the Rotary clubs of the district that they are engaged with local companies for CSR funds, how they can be utilized for the commitment to the dollar value what Rotary clubs are raising there. So pretty interesting mix of things. And, my takeaway as I kept observing were to be open to what other clubs are doing and learn from each other and how to build bridges and how to reach out, not only for support, to gain support, but also to provide support. So I would like to share a couple of other slides, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my presentation, as I had given them 2 or 3 topics off the top at the last moment, I chose this topic, which was well received. And some of the topics that I talk about, the humanitarian challenges, I kept their conference theme in developing my presentation at the last moment. And taking on those topics, what we can do, the conscious leadership that's very much aligned with my own efforts that I am doing, and how do we present this message not only at the leadership level of the society, either it's corporations or in politics or any other area, but also at a individual level. I also brought in the theme of the global village, Vasudha Kutumbakam, which was G23 theme, meaning that Earth is a family. So kind of got good attention using those words that they were really not to say buzzwords, but actually meant something for people. So my presentation lasted about 25 minutes. And this president of the Rotary Club from Scotland were invited members. And I was very pleased to receive a momentum, a silver coin for Rotary District, 85 years of establishment of Rotary District in New Delhi. So that's another takeaway. And yes, I think it's a very good experience to get out, meet other Rotary clubs wherever we have an opportunity to engage with them. Each of the district, each of the country, culturally, they have very local issues that sometimes become very important to them than far out there. So I'm very open into understanding when I am dealing with anyone on a professional level, on a personal level, to be in the listening and see and then find common ground. So it was a pretty pleasant trip and a very good experience coming across a lot of celebrities at the same time engaging with other members. So that's it from my side.
Thank you. Thank you. So it sounds like a fascinating experience. And it opened up a conversation that we were having about how Rotary is evolving, which for me connects with the idea that the Kay was sharing last time about, you know, reimagine Rotary. Rotary is a huge organization with many, many faces. I've only been in Rotary a couple of years. And the curious thing is that I first met Rotary in Manila when I was visiting the Philippines. And I met one of our honorary members there, who invited me to join Rotary there. And I said to him, I'm not quite sure why joining Rotary in Manila will work when I live in Las Vegas. But anyway, I did. And then when I met Marty, he persuaded me to come to this club. And that's why my original Rotary number is actually come from my joining in Manila. So we're all Rotarians, but there's very different faces around the world. And it opened up the concept of how we understand these different cultures and how we reimagine Rotary. So I wondered if there's any other comments that anybody else would like to make about the evolving cultures in different clubs. And maybe I'll ask you, Kay, because you felt drawn to join our club, which is going to be a very different experience longer term than being in a local club. Your thoughts?
Well, when we first met and talked about the setup of your club, I thought it was a really interesting concept to have it that way. I mean, Rotary has been doing satellite clubs, but actively having people in different time zones and trying to come together, I thought was very interesting. For me personally, I think Rotary evolves with every individual over time. And my club does really wonderful things in our community here. And you alluded to it last week. The last meeting, you were saying that, you can't hug people with your club, and there isn't that one-on-one interaction or personal in-person interaction. So that too is a very valuable part of it. But I think for me now, I feel like, where I am in my professional life and in my personal life, it makes sense to be able to be a part of a group who I can learn from. The ideas that are going to come out of this club, because there are people based all around the world in different environments, different atmospheres, I think will make me a better Rotarian. It's one thing to think about or imagine what things could be like, and it's another thing to actually hear somebody's perspective who is right there. So I think I will really enjoy that aspect of it. I'm looking forward to trying to do projects where we're not all meeting and coming together to do a project, and how that works. So I think it's all about growth for me. And I think there's definitely a place for a club like this. I certainly enjoyed the atmosphere here at the last meeting. And I'm really looking forward to coming on board and being a part of this group. And the amazing thing about it is it doesn't matter where you are. If you move to another state or another country, you can continue to be an active member. And that's what when I moved from Canada, then, if the transition is not done well into the other club, it seems like you're a brand new Rotarian when you're not. Sometimes there's that break in continuity that, yeah. But I think I'm just open. I like that you have people here who are great on technology. I was really impressed with the way you all presented your website and information package, telling people here we're going to be having a meeting. I'm not very big on social media and an online presence, so maybe that's something I could definitely learn from being a part of this group here. And it seems like Marty has a good handle on that, and maybe Shanker too. So just learning from everybody. I like how Marty just said, you can be part of this group, and you can even find a space here to help do this. So that's really good. It's so many different things right now going on in the world, and I think there's a lot of anxiety as to what's going to happen. We know this, in the US, it's an election year. And in most countries, elections can determine so many things.
Yes.
I've participated in elections in the Caribbean, in Canada, and it's a lot that goes on, and that it brings that level of angst. So it's certainly good to know that we have a group of folks that we can come back to and try to find a little more sane corner in our individual lives and in the world, and create some good. So yeah,
Thank you.
that's where I am right now. Just trying to do my part and be a good citizen.
Well, that's great. And I'm going to check in with Marty now, but I think it's really important. I mean, my original experience in Manila was really interesting because I wasn't a member, but being introduced me to everybody there. So I got a flavor of the Supreme Club of Manila, which is one of the top Manila Rotary clubs. And I think that what we've got in our club is much more potential, but we need to also work on persuading members to turn up. So I am saying this now because this will go out on the replay. Not everybody turns up, and I send out the invitation to every single member separately, as well as the P-mail, and contact everybody. And I want us to work on how we can really get more participation in. We only meet twice in a month, and whether or not we should maybe have different time zone meetings, things like that. But Marty, you've got your hand up, and I would love to hear your view.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for people that do desire authentic one-on-one interaction, who love golfing and golf events and mega balls with 400 to 600 people at a ball hosted every year, and wine dinners, cleaning up rivers with Rotary, all that stuff is still available because you're a Rotarian, and I give speeches in Rotary clubs all over. I will contact them a couple of months before my vacation, whichever state or country I'm going to, and set that up while I'm in town. And if they don't need a speaker, then I'll just attend their event. But I've gone to so many events hosted by other clubs and districts all around me, even in other states. And generally, they just want to know, what is your club? What did you just say? That you have to repeat it, the Rotary Club of Global Impact. Yeah, what's the number? 224-228. They'll thank you so much. You'll see them actually like writing that down. Thank you. We'll get back to you. They look it up. We have one of the most active clubs on Rotary.org. I'm always telling people, fill out your profile. If you're trying to get more business, more contacts, more valid, top tier 1% professional contact for real opportunities in life, not dumb spam email. People are actively looking you up. And if you don't have a profile at Rotary.org, which is different than DACDB, different. If you don't have a professional international profile that is extremely robust, humans like CEOs and the Asia Wall Street Journal writer and Harper Collins, columnist who is living in Beijing, Jihandula, is looking you up, trying to find people because they're traveling to Virginia, they're traveling to DC, in 4 months. And if they can't find you in New York and they can't find you as a contact in Las Vegas, because you have no profile, it kind of short circuits the international connection. And we did receive contact yesterday from another club that wants to partner with us on a global grant out of India. I
Oh,
sent it
yes.
to the leadership, so you can see how this works. And what impresses them is when they go on to look you up. Going back to my comment about looking you up, looking the club up, is again the philosophy in Rotary generally is websites are not a real big deal on Earth, and any type of information about my profile is, you know, at rotary.org, and that pervasive philosophy of mediocrity has been endorsed for a long time with the internet and computing machine. So we're like, I got into computing, I think it was 1972. I was 7 years old at the time. And by 1990, I was doing websites and building web pages. And in 1991, that really came into mass proliferation. So it's been quite a while with the computing machine as an excuse mechanism as to why you reject websites, why you reject computing, why you reject having a digital profile, even in Rotary. And this leads to a lack of opportunity. So I always encourage people, crank up your rotary.org profile because like that club that contacted us from India for a global grant, I can tell you right now, they went on to look at several different clubs in the United States. And this is what I do. I'm just telling you what I do. When I am going to Hershey, Pennsylvania, I'm looking up all clubs to speak at Hershey, the resort. And, you know, if I see a very robust club that has a professional website and on rotary.org, there's numerous people in there with robust profiles and photographs of their human face, then that's the club I want to speak to or speak with or speak at because they have their act together. And when you look up this club on Earth out of 46,000 clubs, it's very obvious that this club is full on, full swank modern and has its act together like ways you couldn't even imagine. So there's no, just going back to the beginning, and then I'll shut up. There's no preventing you from the beauty of, oh, we love balls and dancing and the wine. You can go to those. Look up your district where you live, near to you, clubs, figure out the ones that are robust, look at their
Yes.
calendar, and go to those dinners and events and golf outings and custom car shows and the Rotary flight demonstration team because you love jet fighters and want to see Rotary's flight demonstration teams, you know, flying at the air show and go do all that stuff. I highly encourage it.
Well,
What
I
do you
agree,
speak
Marcy.
about at all these?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I think that is the advantage. I mean, I met Kay at the pets training. So it was a wise move to go to the local because that was California, which is local to Nevada. But I do think that's right. And that's why I think Ritu's experience in India is so useful. And I know everywhere we are in the world. I'm just going to share, and then I'll kind of come to you, Isyak, that this is, I don't know whether you've seen this. I haven't posted everywhere, but this is something that I'm doing on, can you see that? So I'm doing this on Friday morning, 7 a.m., 7:30 IST. And that came out of me having a conversation with somebody called Andy in Indonesia. But you notice it's Rotary. I haven't got the logo. They didn't put my logo on, but they've got Rotary Club of Global Impact there. And I've mixed together the theme from Rotary, my own theme, and authentic harmony. So that's where, you know, that came out of me saying in a conversation that I'm part of Rotary. So I think this is where we can start really making use of being in this wonderful global club. So I want to just bring Shanker in because and ask Shanker to just talk about what we want to really do in the last couple of months, and hopefully carry on with Patty's year as well, is really getting the passion projects together. So Shankar, you just share with us our thoughts about what that means and why it's broader than the club.
Yeah, thank you, Pauline. See, Pauline and I were talking about the passion projects, that many are passionate about certain projects. And that's not really a business per se, but maybe it's a business, but that would be a byproduct. So how do we navigate? How do we bring an idea that has got a passion and then take it forward, bring it in the real world? So we got around thinking, how can we actually articulate a passion project and then take it forward with our Rotary Club of Impact, Global Impact, and its members. So while discussing, I came up with the idea that we need to create what is called a buddy system. That is, every project that any one of us have ever presented, a few of us have really connected and resonated with them. And so the first step would be to find a partner or a few people who can be part of this program project for the passion project owner, because it's also our responsibility to fan those projects, fuel it, and make it good. Like if nobody is concerned, one of us would actually call the friend and say, you know what happened to that? What can we do with that? And how can we collaborate on that? So my real theme to build the passion project is to really call it powerful communication. That's one. And collaboration is really the theme. You know, we, in these times, especially since a while, I've been thinking that there is no such thing as doing it all alone and this is my project and I'm the entrepreneur. And we call it venture building. Venture building is basically to collaborate with each other's ideas and come up with a brand new idea in the process. So the project owner comes up with an idea and she or he is very passionate, but it's also something that we can co-create, call it the cohort. And together we write a vision statement. And that will actually align us with each other's way of looking in a certain direction. All said and done, this needs a cadence, which means that if there's a project, we need to work together every month, every fortnight, every week, whichever way we can actually collaborate and see what next to be done. And since it is the creator economy, as they call it now, Ishtiaq would very much resonate with that, because whatever we say, it needs to be seen in the real world, which means we need to create a poster, a vision statement, something visually appealing so that everybody instantly can know it. And thereby creating what is the next steps to doing all that is online marketing and online showcasing and getting people more and more interested. Create a podcast, create a brief on that, go to LinkedIn or whatever else that we got, that the cohort can actually come up with a solution and go on, which is basically going all the way and creating the bigger picture for everybody else to participate. So I leave it here as a way to take an idea, the vision statement, picturize that, have more and more optics, because today everybody is on the net and they can connect back and give their points of views and bring it into being. The rest is easy, because once a core team is created, then the team will automatically have their own intelligence to take it forward. So I just want to say an idea can be very real, provided a team of people can come together and take it online and have a cadence of events. Beyond that, it will take its own course. This is our business style of doing things. So I will turn back to Pauline and to say a few words on what I said and see how we can agree to disagree or take it forward together, whichever way it is. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Shankar. I love listening to you. You're so eloquent about this. One of the things for me that came up is that when we have like a club project, like you were doing, Patty, at the weekend with their one. That's a Rotary Club project. But within our passion projects, there are a few people, like Megan had an amazing non-for-profit education project. Brittany had another one. Is to actually understand that these projects are individual members of the clubs having their projects, so that if we can somehow, as Shanker said, create that kind of global matrix of what is happening, we can either connect that into Rotary intentions, or we can also connect it into what we want to do. That's why I like to see things. I'm a mapper. I kind of like to see, again, what these projects are and how the connections are. For instance, education was quite a key one. Health and wellness is often quite a key one. Kids, and obviously this goes back to the areas that Rotary deals with, the 7 key areas. So somehow, Shanker, we need to also go back to each of our passion projects. Megan, for example, she said she was going to come today. She does say she wants to stay as a member. I'm working on that one. People get very busy. What we need to do is to make sure we can make it a useful connectivity under those more general headings, maybe of things like education, wellness, family, social justice, as Doris brought in as well. We can somehow map these things out. So that's my thought is, and I'm just going to come to you in a minute, Ritu, is we each have other networks that we know. So for instance, I belong to the G100, which is a huge network of women across the world. Ritu is one of my G100 chairs, but that network can also support projects that we can also tap into Rotary. So it's using our Rotary head inside our business head, inside our global head. Does that make sense? I hope I don't confuse you. Ritu, your thoughts? You're on mute. You're on mute. Ritu, you're on mute.
Okay, all right. So I just want to say thank you. In addition to Rotary Head, we have Rotary Heart also. So bring that in. Okay, I want just a comment to make what Marty said, Shankar and Dr. Pauline, you mentioned that we all have our passion projects and the buddy projects, etc. So whatever the outcome and the byproducts of our heart-based contribution to the community in general is, let it be. I'm all for it. I think coming back to Marty's comment, we are very active on internet, on a web presence wise. I would like to take that forward. So as I maintain the roster, I can create a passion project sheet, and then let's go over internally and then work it out how we can make it as a published page as well, what our members are working on their passion project. So if someone visiting our website, so they can see we're not just a global club that meet on Zoom, we are active in doing things and what our respective projects are. So I'll be more than happy to support in any way, creating that spreadsheet to go over first and then make it as a good write-up for a web page.
That's fantastic. And I think that's because what I visualize is we need more, if we want to get more traffic on the LinkedIn Global Club page and Facebook, we want people to be talking about their projects under the guise of, this is my own project, but I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Global Impact. So we're doubling up, and we can then have news stories, which Isiak can be SEOing or whatever it is you do with stories. But we need to get more, it's not just the projects we do within us, but individually those coming together. So Ritu, I really appreciate that. I think that we could work on that. Yeah, and then we can get more postings up so that the people, we draw people to our LinkedIn page. I use LinkedIn all the time. And we can draw people to there because they say, oh, there's always interesting stories on there. It's like our website is fantastic. We've got such an amazing, everything that we do is up there. And that's really, thank you to Marty and Isiak and all of you who do the technology and the write-up and the design. Let's try and get it out there on in LinkedIn and Facebook. Are we in agreement that that's the place to go? Is that okay, Shanker, as well?
Yeah, of course.
So if maybe you could come into with Ritu to work out this matrix, and I'll work with you as well. We'll do.
Yeah, I like Ritu's idea of making it very real in those terms. And we must give each of our project a name to it, like the water project or something, so that it becomes very real in terms of identifying each project, like the way you said. And that way people can connect with one single name to it. And when people check the website, they know we have multiple projects that we are really very serious about, and we cooperate with each other to actually make it happen. So it's a great value add to come together, give meaning to our own projects, seek meaning onto that with our co-partners, and make it very real and make it very impactful.
Absolutely. On our website, we've got every single meeting that we've had, obviously, and you can see the passion projects. And I put all the passion project ones onto one PowerPoint, which I've posted out. So, you know, we want to highlight these and make sure everybody knows who we are so we can get more traffic. How many of you post up on the Rotary Club of Global Impact LinkedIn page? So yeah,
I did create the newsletter. I did it. I'm doing it like softly because that I'm not the, the PR person. I'm just doing it, just to get the ball rolling. And anybody who has admin rights to that LinkedIn page can go ahead and create their own newsletter. I just named it, our global impact, or I don't even remember now, to be honest. But the idea is, I created a newsletter, but you could create multiple newsletters. And I just posted pretty much what we post on our website, like the latest. And then I did a hot link that they could go and just look at the entire website where everything is there. But it just says, read more. So I just posted what is on our website as the front page, which was, today's presentation, the information about what's going on today, and then I did read more, and I did share it as a newsletter. Hopefully we get engagement there. And again, Facebook, we're gonna have to go on with Marty and see if I could figure that out, because I think it's all about like just sharing what we're doing, because another member might say, hey, I want to jump in on that with you, just like what happened with me and Aaron. And like even with Marty, like I really would love to do something with Marty, with there's so much potential to really get a really, really beautiful fundraiser going on, and then the costs to get there and put it together. Then I don't know about the technicalities about that, but like if as a club we can do an event, and then just take care of take whatever money comes out of that event to pay for the expenses to make it happen. I think there's a lot of potential there.
Absolutely. And we come to the top of the hour, so I want to just do some couple of sort of summary points. I want to thank you, Patty, and Aaron, who came in earlier, for telling us about the event. That was beautiful. And Ritu, really grateful for you sharing your experience in India. That's wonderful. And Shanker, as ever, being so good and succinct about how we can connect the dots. And as part of the global chamber, Shanker, you're part of the global chamber of commerce. So that maybe we need a spreadsheet where we know who our major networks are that we can each connect to outside of Rotary and as well as through Rotary. But I want to thank you. Yeah, and we'll work on the matrix. Maybe you and I and Ritu can get together on that. The other thing I want to just remind you of, all of you, there were two there was a resolution 24 that went out. I don't know whether we've had many responses, Shankar, yet, but it should have come to you as a Google form. And if you can take a look at that, we can send it out again when we check the responses, just to agree or disagree or abstain on the idea of prohibition of nuclear weapons and that was something that Quanta brought to the club. And the other one is that I think it's closed now, but the idea for who would be our sergeant at arms, and we do have Paul Brandis, who's here at the moment. And Paul, I proposed as sergeant at arms, Marty's proposed Agatha, and Brittany proposed yourself, Quanta. So that will go out to the club for a vote. And that's something that we'll talk about, Shanker. We'll send that out.
Yeah.
We send out with the 3 nominations, although we haven't yet had a word back from from Agatha. So I'm a bit concerned about whether she is well. And we'll keep on aiming to get her. But Quanta, you have your hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to say that whoever becomes the sergeant at arms, I served as 3 years as sergeant at arms in my international club. So I'll be most happy to help them, just support them in any way that they want support.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and Paul, you're okay to go into the voting? Yes.
I am.
I think you've frozen. Oh.
Uh-oh, hang on.
Okay. So we'll put that out to the
We
members.
can hear him okay. There he is.
There I am. Can you see me now?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that. No, that sounds great. I'd be honored to serve. I'll do the best I can if I'm humbly elected.
Okay, well, we'll put that vote out to the membership and see what happens. I would just like to welcome Ruby. Ruby has just popped in. Ruby is a potential transfer from Ruby. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
I just want to say hello to you and welcome to our club. You can see various members here on the screen. And I believe you've moved to Texas, is that right?
Yes, ma'am, precisely.
And you coming from Nigeria, is that right?
Yes, ma'am, I served as 2-time secretary of Rotary Club of Port Harcourt, Rebisi Kingdom, Nigeria. 2-time secretary and 1-time director of Rotary Foundation.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we look forward to getting to know you more. Welcome. And are you now in Texas?
Yes, ma'am, I am in Houston. Yes.
Excellent. So we'll make sure that Shanker, if you can see Shanker on the screen, wave Shanker, is our secretary. Patty Frodenberg is our next incoming president. Marcy is our past president and founder of the club. And we have another transfer in Kay is coming in. So you're in good company, and hopefully we find out more about you once we do the paperwork. And I'll telephone you and we'll have a conversation. Okay, Ruby?
Thank you, ma'am. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank
Nice to meet you all, fellow Rotarians. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So last but not least, the 50-50 draw. Don't forget to go and buy your tickets for the 50-50 draw, which will be drawn on June the 11th. And this, I don't know whether somebody could post the link into the chat for me. I know you've got that there somewhere, Marty. But Ruby, this is a 50-50 draw. You can buy a ticket and you might win half of the pot, and the other half will be a donation to our Rotary donation. Is there anything else that I've forgotten? Anybody got any other business? Anything on the social media, Asiak?
No, nothing at the moment. But yes, we need to fix whatever is going on Facebook. I've tried it. Paris tried to post something. It's not working. So yeah, I hope that gets fixed soon.
Okay, well, that's be fixed. please look out for the notice from Shanker about the vote for the Sergeant at Arms and for the Resolution 24. I believe your club's going to do that as well, Kay. I know that Anne Frisk was very happy to hear that. I think that, are there any other points? Have I forgotten anything, Shanker and Patty?
I don't think.
Okay, so I wish you all a very lovely full moon week, an expensive week. And in fact, I believe we do have Dr. Stone coming to speak to us on May the 14th. And this is a speaker that Erin has suggested. And just so you know, Kay and I are going to meet with Erin on Thursday night, aren't we, Kay? So we'll take a suitable photograph of us together. We're going to meet. We're going to meet in Las Vegas because Erin's coming in on Wednesday evening through to Sunday. So we're going to meet on Thursday evening at the somewhere up Old Town, New Las Vegas. Well, I'll send you the message. Ritu, quick last one.
Yes, I have not received an email from our next speaker, so we need that for me to update the roster.
Yes, that's down to Aaron. Aaron keeps on promising me, but he says he's definitely coming, and he's a wonderful speaker.
Okay, so I need the topic and email at least, so to get information to update the roster. And I also have been updating roster with the Members Passion Project. As far as the information I have, I update those. I'm going to put together a beginner spreadsheet for all the passion projects that, as far as we can go back, that took place. And then, as you mentioned, Shankar, you and I can meet, or anyone else who wants to be part of it, welcome. We can do that. And I think it would be a good idea to summarize all the passion projects of the members to main categories, like a water project or whatever there are within it, so what members are working on. So there would be a couple of iterations before we can come up with a good way to create a sub-page on the website. And I'll be more than happy to do the write-up.
Okay, so we'll take all those points on, and just as a note to everybody that we are in the last 2 months of this Rotary year, and the membership dues will be due in June, and we will post those out 2nd of June. Is that right, Marty? I think it's 2nd of June.
Yeah, always June 2nd and December 2nd, always due by June 20th and December 20th. And that pays forward for the next 6 months, because that's regrettably how Rotary works.
Yes.
And then, we get a bill for everybody, so we pay it.
And we did have a discussion, was there any transfer fee? I know that Ruby asked me about that.
We don't have one in our bylaws. If the leadership or the membership wants to create a transfer fee to create more money for the club, we've not had any members totally really come forward and say, hey, I want to put $500 into the club, or we're sitting at about $1,589 in our balance. All of our bills are paid, so we're not in a bad situation. We're actually in a great situation. And I know there's clubs in Charlotte that make $157,000 in one night with their annual wine dinner, but they have 200 to 300 members. Yeah, the club can do what it wants, more or less.
I think while we're intimate and small club, let's work on that in the next president year, Patty. But I know that Ruby knows the fees that we charge, $180 for their full year, 6 months, $90, 6 months. And I know that Unique wants to join, although he's disappeared at the moment. So we'll
Pauline,
check.
I have a question before you hang up, sweetie.
Yes.
I have a couple of people that wanted to become a member, but I had a question. If they become a member before the beginning of next year, are their dues prorated? Do they pay only for 2 months, like May and June?
Yes.
And or do they have
Yeah.
to pay for the whole year?
It'll be prorated, but actually down to the week. So even if they like have 7 weeks left in this time around,
Okay.
yeah, it's just $3.75 per week. So it'll be prorated down to the week, Quanta. Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, and also we don't have to pay for them for an entire year as a club, like we
No,
pay.
we just get billed from Rotary and district for 6-month intervals, which is always 6 months in advance. So
Okay. All right.
Okay. Ritu, is this another question, Ritu? Thank you, Quanta.
I would just add to
No.
that. So like if it's between now and their membership that will be due for a half year, which is July 1st. So today is April 23rd. There's really only 1 week left in April,
Yeah.
so that would be $3.75. And then you've got May and June, which is $15 each time. So that's 30. So figure $33.75 is what somebody would pay right now today, which would get them to the end of this half year. And then where they get confused and sometimes angry is they'll pay that $33.75 today. And then on June 2nd, they'll get angered and say, why in the hell am I getting billed $90? I just paid my dues. And we tell them, and I've been trying to encourage Pauline and whatnot to put this information out, and I put it out, and anyone that's talking with somebody
Yeah.
to let them know many, many times that this is the process and we're not in control of it. We get billed in advance for 6 months at a time. Let them know, like, even though you're paying $33.75 right now, it's going to take you up to July 1st. But on June 2nd, please don't be angered when you get your bill for $90. That's going to bring you all the way through the rest of the year until January 1st. And so that way they're not shocked and surprised. In all fairness, it helps them to budget and plan as well.
Yeah. No, yeah. Any
Question.
questions on that?
Yeah, so Marty, I won't actually be on your roster until July 1st.
Right.
So will you bill me on July 1st? Because you can't bill
Well,
me.
Yeah. You're paid up probably with your club all the way through July 1st. And we
Yes.
can wait on you too. Some people do want to do that. And what we can do is we can add you onto our roster as a guest. And we can do that. The secretary can do that today.
Yeah,
And so that
that's
legally
great.
will make you a member of our club. And for superstars like yourself, you're a former president. It's easy to make you an honorary member as well.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how you become a member of 2 clubs. We actually have people in Rotary that belong to like 9 clubs, but they're an honorary member of 8 clubs on the DAC-DB roster. They're not getting billed for anything, but you can only legally be a member of 1 club.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. I would need to officially start on July 1st. At the end of my term.
And everybody should still be receiving their magazine at their home or their office. If you're not getting your full color magazine, beautiful Patty, definitely contact. Probably the best person really is Patty. I swear she is the magazine genie in a bottle. So she even has secret phone numbers to the magazine department at Rotary.
I do. This is
They
true.
say there's
He's
no
not
phone
kidding.
number, there's no office for that, but she'll call directly and they'll look the person up on the phone and find out why they're not getting their magazine every month at their house.
Yeah.
Is everybody okay getting their magazine? Is anybody not getting their magazine?
You got to give about 2 months lag, approximately. Could be give or take, because depending on when you joined, there is a lag because they're so ahead of the game that their system is not gonna, catch up to you joining. So you may experience a lag in receiving your first copy. But if it's more than, if you're already in your second month, definitely give me a ring and I'll check on that for you. And also, Shanker, remember, all we need for a guest is an email, a name, and guest approval.
Okay.
So Ritu says she doesn't get a magazine. Well, so Ritu
Yes,
doesn't get a
I
magazine.
never got, I do not know if there's something I need to enroll into it. I
And
never
Patty,
received any.
when she calls, she'll have DACDB open with your address and find out what the bottleneck is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And
so
we want to
also-
we want to make sure like people like Ruby and Unique that they're a guest so that they're receiving your emails.
Yes. So Ruby, we'll make sure we you can send us. I'll email you together with Shanker, and so Shanker, we could take care of Ruby's transfer in as well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruby. We look forward to getting
Welcome,
to.
Ruby.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And the next meeting, Ruby, is May the 14th. So it's always the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday. There happen to be 5 Tuesdays in April. As an idiot, got confused about that at one point. But there is, so we will be meeting May the 14th is the next one. And anything you need, Ruby, just email us together. I'll make sure you're emailed to everybody. But thank you for being here.
My pleasure,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you. So I think it's been a very good meeting today. Thank you for everybody who's shared, and let's go out there and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, Shanker.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll put the matrix together. Thank you. Thank you, Quanta. And we'll just say, hang on.